Hi everybody, Sucrose back again to play some more Banished. We started this village of Alcestellis, and hi Delvina, we survived for 2 years. Pizza Town, so we've got our main thoroughfare of Pineapple Avenue running north-south, and Olive Way runs east-west. If there's anything wrong with the stream, let me know. And because I am monitoring chat for the first time, I should be able to react to that. It's paused now, just to try to remind me where I was. We were dealing with a little health crisis. They had lost a little bit of health, I think. And we're playing with just 2 settlers. So we have to make sure that we keep them healthy. I'd like to remind the audience that I'm not a streamer. I am merely a real-time Let's Player. The distinction is important. All right. Well, let's unpause and let them walk around a bit. I think we can let them get their health up a bit. Looks like we just entered summer, and we have a nice downpour to welcome us. Because I'm not a streamer, I don't know what that face is. It looks like Zangief from Street Fighter, but I assume it's a Twitch developer. So this is pretty neat. I only have one monitor, but I see Twitch and YouTube chat where you see my face. And so we both see something beautiful. So let's see. So we assigned one of them to work as the herbalist, and it looks like Marnice, which you know, she chose that job. I didn't. And choices matter. She's wandering around picking up herbs, and their daughter, Eiley, has just turned 9. Which I believe means that she'll be going into the labor market soon. And we can really use the help. Really, really, really. Hi, DNA Goa. Welcome. We've got a Adam and Eve situation here. 2 settlers. And we're taking things nice and slow. Let's follow the herbalist again. She's hungry. Now she's, at this point, she's got to go to her job, pick up herbs, bring them back here, go back to the job. So it might be time to build a barn near in the forest somewhere. Oh yes. Actually, I think we should first let Lenaro finish the blacksmith, just to make sure that we have tools coming in. I don't really have any particular goals other than to survive. Medium term, short term, we've got to get our second house up. Right now we only have the one. Right now we only have the one family and the one child. So Well, thank you, DNA Goa. I am a new streamer as well. I've been playing around with a couple of games to see how I like it. How do you like it? Not my stream. How do you like streaming? What do you like about it? Boy, there's quite a bit of a lag on the chat. I was noticing today watching you stream, Delvina. Thank you. My neighbors are trying to mess up the quality of the sound, but I'm hoping that you cannot hear them. Yeah, you definitely favor your YouTube viewers, but I understand considering I was one of 2 Twitch viewers. Despite building up a little stockpile of herbs, up to 72 now, which there we go. No? Yeah, okay. So at 100, she'll stop gathering. I think that even when she's not gathering and she becomes a laborer, people can still go to the herbalist to get healed. Hopefully she'll go up a half a heart here. Or maybe it's a chance thing. Or she just died. No, okay. Oh, but we're out of food. We are out of at least stockpiled food. She's got 300 potatoes in her house, so. But I guess it makes Sneaky Zombie, huh? She play a lot of Banished? Okay, so I want to finish this, and you have to have a laborer. Oh, yay! Okay, okay, fantastic. This makes the decision so much easier. So Eiley has probably turned 10, and so she is a eligible member of the workforce. She is going to be our gatherer, and she will work on getting us a bit of food. That lets us keep Marnice as an herbalist so that people can heal up. And Papa Lenaro gets to keep, I guess, collecting stone. I think that's what he's doing. And they have a baby brother who will probably become our second family pretty soon. So everything is coming up Millhouse. We didn't even have to make a tough decision, which, you know, for better or worse. Oh, collect an iron too. I forgot how much iron that took. My goodness. I wonder if we have enough. Maybe let's take a look around and see what we might want to flag. Gosh, look at that. It's barren. Oh, goodness gracious. So there's a little bit up there. That's so far. Oh, there's something in that little... Maybe we should grab that. More terrible weather. So they're running out of firewood too. Hopefully we can grab a little bit of food and switch her over to firewood. She's okay, so this is also good. She's gathered enough herbs that she's met her quota. So she's essentially what happens is they revert to laborers. But my understanding is that the building will stay useful, so people will still be able to go to the doctor. Once we get up to maybe 4 hearts, I might just turn it off for now, till they dip back down. But yeah, this is nice. It's a little... It's like I was saying last time, it's almost like a screensaver, and less like a game. City Skylines is great. I've spent many an hour playing that. It's like the SimCity that SimCity 5 wasn't. Although I felt it never really captured the how to put it. Maybe just the fun of SimCity 4. It seemed more serious to me. Reserve of tools has dropped down to 1. So it's a good thing we started focusing on this. Grab some stone here too. Oh, there's still some marked. So hopefully they'll get this taken care of between the two of them. Marnice? Yeah, Marnice and Lenara. Yeah, it's pretty rough when they run out of tools. Everything gets less efficient, and it can get to the point where, you know, you're just barely making headway. So hopefully we can get ahead of that. Let's see. To make tools you need at least iron, so we'll have to have some iron stockpiled for that. So this could get interesting. Yeah, it's pretty great. It even is transparent, so I can see behind it. And check this out. So my chat's at the bottom left. I can still click on buildings. So it's as if it's not there. It's super cool. It seems a little imperfect. Sometimes I think it missed some of my test messages, but you know, I might be missing some of your very important messages now. In which case, blame the computer, not me. I cannot make you a mod. I can block you, though. I'm kind of... It's kind of funny that it doesn't have that option. All right, so we got a little bit of food coming in. Yeah, I think you have to give it permissions maybe, and I didn't give it permissions. I think it's actually acting as if I didn't connect it at all, so it's able to read chat because anybody can read chat, but it it can't do anything as me. I can't even chat back actually. But I figured why bother chatting back? I can talk with my vocal cords, my larynx and pharynx and phalanx and phoenix and etc. I think she's just doing laps. What are you even doing? Marnie's get with the program. All right, we've got a little bit in storage. Oh, good. So this is almost ready. Certainly he's healthier. And let's see, how about little Fredericky, little baby Fredericky, with his walking around. All right, so I love these gatherers huts. There's so much food coming in. I'm gonna let it go one more tick, maybe up to 300 storage, because that's enough for a big load of food. And then I'll switch her over to builder. So that we can get the blacksmith built and resources to build tools, because we're awfully close on that. Looks like I don't see who's in chat. Don't know if that's a possibility. I think it's a possibility. I'm gonna Alt-Tab and just make you a mod. DNA Goa subscribed. Thank you, DNA Goa. I believe Dead Delvina is now a mod, so listen up to her and pay attention. She has things to teach you. But only on Twitch. On YouTube, she's powerless. You have the magical green symbol, so... Alright, they grabbed the last of the firewood. So this is... things are definitely interesting this season. So we're gonna stop from doing gathering. Switch her over to woodcutter. What is it? Oh, Lenaro decided to be woodcutter. But yeah, honestly, you know, we've got enough firewood again for a while, but let's keep ahead of things. It claims you're a mod, so I maybe just don't know how to wield your powers. You need to go to mod training school. Oh, I thought you were doing Kool-Aid impersonation. Yep, little 11-year-old Eiley building the blacksmith. She's, like I say, very precocious. She's sadly uneducated. Man, it'd be interesting. It'd be so so tough to try to actually keep them educated. Doing the two-man, I don't. It would be tough. Um, if even for a second there stops being a teacher, the kids get released out into the workforce. Getting a nice stockpile of stone, which I'm pretty excited about. They love stone. I think I mentioned that. But I'm not going to fret about it too much. I'm going to let them... Yeah, even to just finish it, yeah, I think you're right. Especially considering we're already coming down in the line on getting the blacksmith up. We could have avoided building one of these bridges. We could have avoided the woodcutter for a while, but it's pretty tight. Pretty tight. And then without the two adults working, I don't know if we could have done it. Looks like they grabbed some of that food, and they're... Oh yeah, look at that. Now that's a varied diet. And now they've grabbed all the food. And... I'll leave her on the... I'll leave her on the firewood for a while. Let's get this done. I think Marnice is the 6th one of all, and she's the herbalist. It's kind of like going to the hair cutter and the lady has a bad haircut. You think to yourself, I don't know if I like this. This is a little bit weird. Come on. Now she's 12. She's been working on it for a year, and she still hasn't finished. I'm pretty disappointed. I get with the program. If you can't build a blacksmith by yourself, like, what good are you? Yeah, well, she chose the job, so, you know, she could have been a woodcutter. Speaking of which, I think 40 stored firewood is enough. So let's send them back to gather. Her parents are like running around trying to feed themselves, so I guess I understand, but you know, another way of looking at this is, did we really need to build like a blacksmith to be able to make tools? Like, can't we just, you know, just take a piece of rope and tie some rocks to sticks? Like, do we have to go right to iron tools? It's like that YouTube channel. What is it? Natural technology? I can't remember. Primitive technology. You know, let's do some clay. Let's do some prehistoric dude. Yeah, it seems about it's only about 8 seconds of lag, which is pretty good. Things are going pretty great. Pretty great. Got plenty of clothes. I'm glad we went with the blacksmith before the tailor. I was gonna say clothier, but I don't know what the difference is. Maybe a clothier is more general. It's not a thing in the game, but I'm pretty sure it's a word. A lot of rain, my god. Oh, look at that. So, log plus iron. So what I'm gonna do, actually, I think just to be safe, we're gonna go ahead and make those tools that we can. And then I'll collect a bunch of iron and then go back. Actually, it should happen automatically, because once she runs out of iron, she'll become a laborer. Alright, Marnice, how are you doing? Still at 3 hearts. She's struggling. Looks like we got some iron here. I'm gonna bump that up. A little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Even maybe that. Okay. Alright, well. Crisis. Major crisis 1 taken care of. We've got we're juggling our food and our firewood and our tools. I think we need to start increasing efficiency. So the next thing will probably be to get this storage barn up. And we don't really need the second house until Frederick is about 10 years old. We can start thinking about the hunter, which I believe we've already placed here. Maybe medium term, we need to get this going. Did we build the road? Yeah. So we even got a road down here. Once we get this going, we know we're not going to run out of stone and iron. It gives us a lot more options. We can stockpile wood, for example, and trade it for even food if we need it. But yeah, tons of stone. Let's hope she obeyed me and switched to iron. Don't see her. All this stuff, and she decides to get the stone. Come on. This is why nobody likes you, Marnice. Don't tell me you're getting the stone. Don't. Oh, God. What is their obsession with stone? They're maniacs. I just told her. Please, get the iron. Iron. Alright, we got 3 tools. Wow, we did not hit 0. That was perfect. It's just about as late as we could wait, though. Plenty of firewood. Good enough food. We've got this winter in the bag. Oh, I did hit 0. Oh, okay. I guess they hit 0. They grabbed the last one, but before they um, before anybody actually lost their last tool, we managed to get one. That's fantastic. Alright, so now she's out of iron. So she becomes basically a laborer. Let's check her out. So now she's back to... Please don't. No, don't. Don't. Why with the stone? Why with the stone? One thing, I mean, I don't think it fits in with the aesthetic of this game, but it would be really nice if you actually had priorities. In RimWorld, you can tell each person what they should be doing and how important it is. Mortal Smurf, I think you are right. It's not just the incest and the age, well, let's say the age issues. There are also a few Chicken McNuggets, sort of a Happy Meal. But we're up to 6 tools. We got stone for coming out of our ears. But, you know, all that's left is iron, so eventually they're gonna... Don't tell me. Yeah, okay. Oh, there we go. Wait. No, that was stone too. Come on. I mean, I was basically kidding at first, but they're really obsessed with stone. Jesus Christ. I am using the priority tool, right? Like, and it seems very specific to me. Like, I'm saying those exact things, not like things in this neighborhood. But, I mean, what I could do is unselect some of this, stone, but there's not a whole lot that's left selected, so yeah, I mean, you can't really tell them to only do iron, but like I could unselect this stone here so that, you know, they can't do it, but other than that there's not a lot I can do. But yeah, oh, our health is back up to 4 hearts. Things are going quite well. Let's see, so... if you mean this iron, the collect iron button, this will allow you to mark iron to be collected. But it doesn't unmark other things, so if you already have stone to be collected, they'll see both as an option, and apparently choose stone because they like stone. You know, I could have been more careful with what I'd marked and only marked a little bit as we needed it. Yeah, I could do that. I'm gonna let it go as it goes, though. They're just about out. I don't think there's much more that I have marked. It's a ton of iron, though, so I should probably unmark some of the iron. But oh, we have another child, a third child. Selenor. Welcome. Another woman. Selenor. So... we still only have the 3 workers. I think for now I'm gonna switch Marnie off of the herbalist to maybe I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe it's important that we stay in good health. Um, I think 6 tools is enough for a while. So she's going to go back to being a builder. And the question is, do we go for the barn? Do we go for the hunter to get us ready for when we need to make clothes? And it also gets food in the meantime. Kind of liking that. Let's see what they each take. That's not battle. That's not a whole lot of resources. That's not either. I'm gonna go for the hunting. Kinda wonder if maybe I should put the barn in between, because this hunting cabin's gonna use the barn a lot too. Or will I would just build 2? Usually my strategy is to build a ridiculous number of barns. I wish the colonists felt shame. That would have improved the game quite a bit. You know, if they could turn their little faces up to the camera and give you a disappointed look, at least, I would be impressed. But really, I mean, is nudism enough to be something you get banished for? What would be the most ridiculous thing? Like a rogue jugglers club or something like that. I just need to take the children and convince the children that trees and iron are rocks. I mean, they don't know any better. Because I don't know what it is, but the rocks are fucking candy to them. Yeah, we also might want to think about getting a forester. I really like foresters because they plant more trees and stuff. And it's one less thing to worry about running out of. Not that you're going to run out of trees, but just in case. Let's see what that takes. It's not a whole lot, but actually both of these are going to take a bunch of wood. Maybe put these on this side. Seems fine to me. Ooh, I wonder if we can build this little road across this hill. Ah, that would have been cute. See you soon, dead Delvina. Alright, so trees, stone, running out of trees. Let's so we're almost definitely going to be building like basic infrastructure here, so I'm thinking let's get these trees. Maybe something like that. glad the tools get used so slowly. We're doing so well, and I'm thinking maybe we should do stone houses. Like, how much does it take iron? Yeah. I mean, I feel bad building stone houses before we have a dock, a trade post. I think I'm gonna just build wood, and then once we start building houses over here, I'll switch to stone. And it is decided. So let's see what's going on. Waiting for wood now. That's the limiting factor. Now that we've got all these children running around, we don't have to worry so much about someone getting sick and dying and losing the game. Which is a load off of my back. Yeah, we just have to make sure that we get houses up in time to further the lineage. Let's see. So she should be collecting, yeah. And it looks like they finally started to get this iron. So what I'm going to do then is cancel that iron, cancel that iron, maybe even that iron. So iron isn't super useful. We want this stuff based on trees to come through. But yeah, I think I'll build a barn in both places. Tool guy, and I think the woodcutter can put firewood in the barns. They can certainly put them in stockpiles. Yeah, we'll probably have a tailor over here, so it'll be fine. Oh yeah, 3.5 hearts. So strange how the order in which they choose to do things. And why they leave some of them on the ground and some of them they pick up. Seleno? Seleno? I mean, do you lose R's? Seleno? I mean, maybe. That can't be true. It's no way it's every consonant. Like, surely some consonants are sticky. Like if it's a B or something. 4 weeks of French. Well, I guess I can't argue with that. So what do we got? We got a builder, a gatherer, and an herbalist. I usually don't rely on herbalists so much. I think I'm gonna get rid of the herbalist, and we'll just maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe what we'll do is we'll set max herbs to be like 60, so that they won't gather herbs for a while. And so there'll be a gatherer anyway. Now what did I tell him to do up here? Stone? Oh, he's gatherer. Marnice will act as a laborer. That's what I mean to say. Alright, they just pulled a chunk of firewood, which triggered the firewood is low warning. We've definitely got enough food for like a year and a half. I think I'll switch Lenaro over, or whoever decides to pick it up. Our 2 adults are kind of getting old. It's just about time to start thinking about making this house. I want to get I'll get the hunting cabin going, and then I'll start the next house. And he can't make firewood because there's no wood. So he should revert to a laborer and hopefully chop down some wood. Or, you know, some stone, if he can find some stone. If there's stone on the other side of the map, this probably going to get that. Like, she's 2 years old. She's walking around wearing clothes like an adult. And she can't cut down some trees? I mean, give me a break. Give me a break. I don't want to hear it. So this is Frederiki. A strong French name. I mean, being short helps cut down trees, because then you get them lower, so you get more tree. If you're tall, you cut them down halfway and you lose half of it. I mean, you know, if you think about it. Oh, it looks like maybe I had left some iron up here. Marked. Just a little bit. kind of want to put... I should have done this a while ago, but I'm gonna... Oops. Yeah. These all look good. Lots of stone. Usually stone is the limiting thing for me. But, there you go. Yeah, get these trees. These sad, wilted trees. Maybe we'll cut these down too. Yeah, this game could be a lot worse. It could be a lot harder. Yeah, I remember, I think I mentioned this in the first video, but the developer was talking about how he tried to leave in things that only made the game more fun. So he actually played around with a crop rotation situation where you had to change. There'd be nutrients in the soil, and they'd be replenished over time, I suppose, and you'd have to switch out your crops. And he said it was fine, but it wasn't very fun, and so he pulled it. And maybe the philosophy of Don't Starve is that difficulty is fun. It's certainly a thing in a game like Dwarf Fortress, where the meme or the joke or the idea is that death, trouble, and difficulty is capital F-U-N. That's kind of what you're seeking. Embrace chaos, embrace difficulty. It's interesting. I think ultimately this game, to me, I think there's a lot of people who disagree, but to me this game feels like a casual game. It's so peaceful. And so the idea of like frantically running around because your logs are wet and you can't burn firewood or something, maybe it's not so peaceful. On the other hand, there's a lot of people who think this game is too hard. If you look at Reddit or the forums, people complain a lot about... Hi Christian, how are you? People complain a lot about how this game is hard. I think it's a little bit unbalanced, like how easy it is to have a population explosion. But the core game isn't really that hard. So we're still limited by trees, but there's plenty that are marked. Once this goes up, which we're just about there, I'll flip over the second house. Yes, Civ is... Civ, I can see what you mean. It's like, it's nice just building those buildings, building those wonders, building the... whatever. Yeah, Mortal Smurf, I kind of agree. If you could click on a tree and see how old it was, or click on, I don't know, more things. If you could say, hey, don't... I think that the way the population stuff works is weird. And so you think to yourself, well, I'll just make a bunch of houses so that I'm ready. that actually causes you to have way too many people. And I don't know how many times I've been in situations where it's like, why is this 70-year-old woman living in this house? Why won't she move in with somebody? I really need to have children quick. Uh, uh, words taken out of context. I guess I'm thinking more about like Civ 4 and 5. I've never played 6. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Mortal Smurf. Like, I'm thinking specifically, if you have a big village and you let your food start slipping, it can be really hard to catch up to the food that you need produced, and you wind up having to lose people just to catch up to the food. Thank you, Christian. Alright, we've got our hunting cabin built. I'm not... Actually, you know what? Oh, we flipped that a long time ago. Alright, so I'm going to flip the wood to the hunter, and we're going to start the second house. This is another big turning point in our two-man survival. Once we have a couple families going, it becomes much easier. Yeah, it's been a while since I played. I remember when I was really into this game, like I knew it was 100 food per person per year or something. But it's really hard to figure that out, because if you look at how much they grab, it doesn't make any sense. They seem to grab way more than a year's worth, that you don't know how quickly they go through it. Yeah. And there are graphs in the game, so it's not like the guy is against data. You have to build a certain building to get the graphs, but it'll show you your food production over time and your food consumption over time. And wouldn't it be nice if it just said, you know, you've got 6 people, you need to be making at least this much food, and you're below it, warning. But it's tricky. I think a lot of stuff isn't clear, and one of the things I talked about in the first stream about this was all the misconceptions people had about old-growth forest and dietary things and all the stuff. People like to make up stories about how the game worked when the game didn't actually work that way. And it would help if it explained that. But I remember thinking when I started playing this, in some sense, that was kind of the charm of SimCity, the originals 1 and 2 and maybe 3. It's almost like part of the play, part of the experience is trying to figure out, well, how many industrial buildings do you need to satisfy the demand of a residential building? Like, what about how does commercial play a role? And I think some people enjoy that, but I think other people just want to play the game already knowing those things. Yeah, like in Don't Starve, I use the mods that show you how much food you get by eating certain things, and I know that you don't like that as much, but I guess I'd much rather focus on the strategy of how do I not starve than trying to reverse engineer these constants. I mean, in Don't Starve, it's just subtraction, but still, it's the game is taking enough out of me. So we're actually getting our house up pretty quickly. We have all the 3 building materials stockpiled a little bit. Probably we want to switch over. Oops. We want to switch this one. We'll let him go a couple of turns. Here's another thing. How do hunting cabins work? They get 3 pulls per year, approximately. But if you start switching people in and out, you might actually miss that, and you don't know that unless you read the wiki obsessively. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, my point is just that it's not available in-game. There's the concept of being able to play a game without reading the wiki that some roguelikes focus on, like Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, I think is maybe the best example. They have all the information you need, how many hit points so-and-so has, whatever damage, blah blah blah, what does eating this do, it's all in-game. Whereas a game like NetHack, you can't find out that, you know, certain swords are completely useless unless you look at the wiki or do experiments. And like I say, some people are into that kind of play, but I kind of think it's boring. So what are we doing? I want somebody to start making some more tools. But I don't want it to be the hunter. I don't want it to be the herbalist. That's pretty much all we got, so we'll have to switch a builder up. But that's okay. We don't need a builder right now. So Eiley has moved in to her own little house. She's 18. She's a grown woman. And it looks like her partner is very likely to be Fredericky. Yeah. Certain games, I think there's ways for people to figure out stuff. As far as Banished goes, most of the information that people seem to have found has been through running experiments. There's a lot of videos out there where they put down buildings and see what happens. Taking notes. I was reading a post in a RimWorld thread, or reading a RimWorld thread where people had decompiled the code to the game itself. And they saw exactly what went into certain decisions the game makes. Games like NetHack are open source. People can actually read exactly what goes into an RNG roll. I kind of wonder that the developer is such an interesting kind of Banished. He seems to be very not traditional. I wonder if he'll eventually release the source for this. You know, maybe in five years or so. I know he's gone on to work on his second game, but I don't know anything about it. We probably should move somebody back to food. I'll let another run of tools come in. So, with Fredericky as Eiley's partner, Selenor, I don't know, Selenor will be a lone child. Probably parents are too old at this point, but you never know. Working a building that's full, what is that? What do you mean by that? Alright, we just got a bunch of tools, so I'm going to switch the toolmaker to be a food gatherer. It's not like there's any rush. Um, there's still probably like 300 food there and 150 food. I don't know. I can't even. 100 food. Yeah, I've been leaving the one in the herbalist to be the doctor. I think they stop going to it if you take them out. Um, and it's kind of interesting because I set herbs to 60 a long time ago. So they don't actually go through herbs, but she has to be there for the shutters to be open. Alright, we've got our house. Let's go ahead and turn on the barn. And then we'll have the storage cart here for a little while. That'll be the storage for this location. We'll have storage here, and then I think we can go to trading post next. It's probably, to be really safe, I want that built. We'll probably throw in another house if somebody has a baby. But there's not really a rush because there's not enough teenagers. But everything is looking great. Looking great. Hopefully, let's see, so we have 2 kids. How old are they? 9. So Frederici should be a laborer pretty soon. I'm gonna call that person Selena. Because she is a woman. Well, she's 5, but whatever. She's a she. Selena seems pretty great to me. That's my pronunciation. And they're my villagers, so I get to decide that. Oh yeah, so once we get the dock, trading post, we'll start getting in coal too, so we can make the better tools. I forgot about that. Another thing that's non-renewable. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. But yeah, I think generally I like games that you don't have to, that don't hide their details, and where the interesting thing about the game is the decisions you make, because that's what games are all about. That's all I'm doing here is I'm saying, okay, what's next? What should I do? What should I do at the expense of something else? And to make those decisions well, I need the information about what these buildings do, what these options are. And I think you can make, generally speaking, more interesting decisions if you have more information. And a lot of games that hide information, there's no point to it. It doesn't seem like, to me. They're just artificially extending their game. Looks like we're getting our first deer kill, which is going to give us some food and some leather. Yeah, Llama Lana is, yeah, it's puzzles. It's like Portal. I feel like that's a bit different. Or Minesweeper, or, you know, Solitaire, Poker. You can have information hiding, but the rules are clear. The rules. It takes a special game, I think, to pull off making the rules obscure interesting. I think that's asking a lot more of a game. You know, how many thousands of years have people been playing chess and Go, and the rules are completely 100% known to the players. So much rain. So what are they doing? Oh, Fredericky has come of age. Today is a beautiful day. Let's set him as a builder. But what do I really want Fredericky to do? We can finish the storage barn. They're actually pretty good. We've got plenty of stuff. Kind of running out of trees, but in terms of made resources, it's going to be a while before we have a place to build a fisherman's hut. I mean, this would be a great place if I can actually walk there. Maybe here. And that's another thing about the game that I feel like it could communicate better is fishermen's huts seem to make more fish per amount of adjacent water. It's not like a resource thing where as long as they have access to fishy waters, they get fish. It's about the amount of water that they have access to, which doesn't make any intuitive sense, but that's how it goes. And so if we were to place, for example, a fisherman's hut right here, and they'd only have this in the radius, they wouldn't get many fish. See, this is exactly the point, is that, like, isn't it more interesting to make that decision knowing how it works than sort of the game being artificially hard because you don't know how it works? Like, you could figure it out through experiment, but is that what you want to do with your free time? Are there immortal Smurfs? I always assumed that Smurfs were mortal. I mean, if they're immortal, then what's the danger? Eiley and Fredericky are shacking up. It's a 10-year-old and his 20-year-old sister. Totally cool. But I'm very happy for them. I got them some silverware for their wedding night. If they even had a wedding, let's be honest. If they had a wedding, I'd get them some silverware. Because now we actually have potential to have our next generation. The love of a family. Yeah, what are they? The blood is thicker than water. So it looks like this is our 5th winter or 4th winter. Because if the end of the first... I don't know. I'm terrible about the fence post problem. But 4th or 5th winter. And we're starting to look sustainable. We've got our second family. Totally able to make children. For these, it's a little unclear. whether we'll be getting another kit out of them. But got plenty of food, not bad on firewood. And so many clothes. I chose this starting condition with this mod to make it difficult. Way too many clothes. Way too many clothes. But we should think about where we'll want to put the tailor and just pause it for a while. I like to plan that kind of stuff out. And that way you see where it's going to go in relation to other things you make. I don't even... where... resource production. It's kind of nice having the blacksmith next to the tailor. Okay. Might want to start building up the stockpile of firewood, but actually we're in winter and they don't need it, so it's no big deal. So we've gotten one load of deer. I build a trading post as soon as I can. Oh, we have a child. Hello, Gideon Drew. Welcome. I like to build a trading post basically as soon as I can. After all this sort of survival stuff is out of the way. We'll probably build it before we build the tailor, honestly. Once we get this up, I think I'm just going to go ahead and unpause the trading. Yeah, seriously. She's been waiting. I mean, like, she's the old one. He just turned 11. So, she's been eyeing him, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. You know, I'm not here to cast judgment. I'm here to ensure survival. And if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. And if we could enable cannibalism, I'd do it. But I bet there's a mod for that. Absolutely bet there's a mod for cannibalism. And that's actually a great thing about RimWorld, is that you don't need a mod for cannibalism because it's in the base game. Don't judge them! You can't judge them because they left your society. They're in my society now. And in my society, there's no rule against it. Yeah, we're good. I'm just gonna go ahead and open that up. Lots of trees. Lots more stone. Yeah, we need all that stuff. Is that really what Twitch is about? So I thought Twitch was about random Pokemon for like 3 years. That's all I thought Twitch was for. Is people randomly playing Pokemon or something. I like the idea that you're saving yourself the trouble of playing video games. That really kills me. Oh dear. But you're kind of right. I mean, I get it. Like, if I like watching, and I was thinking about playing some of this Long Dark, and you know, it's so easy to die and to make a misstep, and it's just like when in this game when we can't make the next generation and we all die. You don't have to absorb those feels that come with the failure. Whereas I'm doing that for you. When this village topples, I I will be solely responsible for not making them eat their little brother slash husbands when they froze to death. That'll be on me. I hope that you play Banished after this, Delvina, and see how your play is different. All right, we need to flip someone a firewood. I'm thinking the gatherer. They're gonna run out of wood eventually, but we're good for now. Boy, they cleaned that off quick. I'm honestly surprised we didn't have a, you know, lumberjack incident with one of our two starting settlers. It's happened before when I've played on these Adam and Eve challenges, but we were lucky. Gideon Drew. What are you all about, fella? He's wearing like a vest and like a fancy shirt, and he's 0 years old. I don't. It's something about that unsettles me. Just like this little road here unsettles me. I really want to erase it. I guess it, but something inside me tells me, you know, embrace the chaos. The chaos of these two tiny little road segments, like this one up here. Yeah, so we're running out of the wood right quick. Yeah, it's cause like 10 years old is basically 20. That makes sense. We placed this forester too. We should probably start that. I'm gonna let that finish. Where else might we want to cut down some trees? Maybe in here. Maybe here. So here's what I'm thinking here. Because we have everything kind of nice and laid out on the edge of our civilization, we're going to really be able to make this nice. And we'll put a, what do you call it? A town center, a market. Look at that. It covers the whole island. This will be our Manhattan. This will absolutely be our Manhattan. And put that right in the center somewhere, and then we can. Oh, we could. If we put it here, we could even catch those houses on the other island. Maybe we do that. And then we only need like one, because honestly, everything else is mountain. Like, I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do with any of this. Maybe this valley here? Maybe here? But it's so far away, so I think I'm going to be happy, like, developing this little bit. But we can put this one market in. Maybe, see, or we'll put two markets to straddle both sides of this island. So, like, one down here. And then one up here? Nah, I don't like that at all. It's going to be one in the middle. So then all the houses go around that. This is going to be nice. It's actually not a bad location for a mountain start. I mean, considering all this flat land that we have, I've had worlds where you really have to go in and out of valleys. I've got that one little glitch there, but well, right out of the womb, yeah. Yeah, we should name some more streets. So Pineapple Avenue and Olive Way. I think, so this one, this has got to be Anchovy. I was going to say Avenue. I guess it could be Anchovy Avenue. Because it's going to the docks. And docks, anchovies, it just makes sense to me. So Anchovy Avenue. Now don't get me distracted with naming it. We have some run out of food. This road, I mean, it seems like it's going to be a major road. So, Mortal Smurf, the rule is they have to be pizza related. And Philadelphia is known for having bad pizza. Hi DNA Goa, welcome back. If you even have left at all. I mean, you know, it could be pepperoni because it's like the main street. But yeah, I had actually hoped that that was the case. I happen to be a fan of all styles of pizza. I've lived in Illinois, and so I like Chicago deep dish, and I live in New York City, and I like New York City style. I've also lived in North Carolina, and I like Pizza Hut, so not really picky. Hi, 4-Track Rap. Welcome to my stream. Yeah, it's more like pie, but they call pizza pie, so I mean, if people are gonna call pizza pie, you can't complain about Chicago deep dish. We're really struggling to keep up with the wood, and we've also blasted through our stone. Oh, I see. So okay, so yeah, 4-Track Rap is on YouTube, and so I have other people on Twitch, and you can't see each other, which is kind of unfortunate. So I will try to relay information, maybe. Not sure how that works. Pineapple Boulevard. I liked Pineapple. Yeah, yeah, okay. Because then we don't want to have two avenues, right? I think that's your idea. I'm down with that. Pineapple Boulevard, I like that. So, Anchovy Avenue, Pineapple Boulevard, Olive Way. I kind of wanted to be Olive Gardens, just to be ridiculous. But I guess that wouldn't be a street, that would be like a neighborhood. If you 4-Track Rap, if you watch on Twitch, there's actually a bunch of people talking, so you get to see what they're saying. So feel free to switch over. Search for Twitch Sucrose on Google or whatever. Oh gosh. Alright, how are we doing? We got tools. So now that we've got 6 citizens, we're actually starting to go through our clothes a little bit faster. All right, good night, DNA Goa. Thanks for watching, and check. Welcome. Come back some other time. I'm not really good at this. I don't know what I'm doing, but thank you. Oh dear. All right. We're kind of struggling on the firewood, and that's because we are using all of our logs to build the. Ooh, so these people, so these 2 kids are, could be our next family, right? Yep, right genders. Or sexes. I wonder if I'm going to be demonetized for saying that. Let's see. So, I'm thinking I'll actually go ahead and build the next one in the middle island. At least right close to the edge, so that they can still be useful over here for now. Because we're going to want to move everybody over. Hi Rillington 4, welcome. This is like a party in here. I didn't actually expect people to watch. Alright, we're starting to build up some logs. But still only halfway on that. Isn't it? It's amazing. They've gone through 6 herbs in like... I mean, 45 minutes? I think this, you might be right. Banished is actually what I got started on watching streamers. When this game came out, people were all over it. Like Quill18 was, I think, the guy I watched a lot. But yeah, it doesn't look very popular anymore. This is completely ridiculous, but I'm going to just build this a little bit longer. And that's going to waste their time, but I just wanted to do that. So let's think about roads and everything. I do like this road being straight here. It's pretty close to the middle, but maybe we want to move it. I like the fact that it comes off the bridge, but we could move it, you know, a couple down. So let's actually look at this again. So something like this would be great if I ignore the roads. That kind of gets the most land in. But it doesn't hit those houses over there. But to hit those houses, I'd have to move it all the way over here, which is not great. So I'm going to ignore those houses. We can move the houses. And this would be nice, because that would hit those roads. That's not terrible, really. So we could sort of just say, that's just how it is. Because that's how the roads worked out, how the bridges worked out. That's kind of how it is in real life, right? Like, stuff's random. But also like not being so grid-based, but I think I'm gonna do it. Like I say, if I were to pick, no, based on not roads, I'd put it there. So maybe here and make it move it down. That's not bad, really. So if I do that, and then come over here and do that. So that'll be the main street, actually. And we'll probably get rid of that. I don't... That's probably too small, but... Selena is now an adult, so thank goodness we have a little more help. But all we really need is trees, so build some trees. I mean, chop down some trees. Grab those, maybe. I don't know what happens when they chop down these tiny ones. Do they get wood, or do they just destroy them? Yeah, you impressed with this feat of engineering over here? So this island then would be called New York Style Pizza. I think because it's the Manhattan of Alcestellas. But then the question is, oh yeah, I forgot to make this road. Look at that, see? I did that on purpose. Then the question is, what is this new main road? Pepperoni Way, Greenbell Pepper Park, I don't even know. Nipsey Russell. All right, so then our next house we're going to want to be in this boundary, and those are wooden anyway, so we're not going to feel bad about getting rid of them. Nipsey Hussle. Yeah, Greenbell Road, that's not bad. I was also thinking, because this cuts New York Style Pizza in half, maybe it should be called that roller knife cutty thing. Yeah, I think they do like PL, maybe. What's a pizza knife cutty roller disc thing called? Pizza wheel. Oh, ooh. I wish we could make roundabouts. It is kind of sad that this game has such limited roads. I would love to have made a roundabout. I mean, they don't drive, so I guess it's not quite so important. But it would be nice to have options, diagonal roads at least. Pizza cutter. That's super boring. Delvina. I feel like you didn't even try. That's just like you couldn't be more boring. Cutter Road. I mean, that sounds like a road. I mean, that may be what it's called, but I'm not impressed. That's all I'm saying. Spinny Disc Pizza Cutter is like, it's a way better name. Obviously. We've blown through our stone reserves. Okay, but we need some... Let's get some iron stored up for the next time we need tools. And we need more stone. Maybe that much. And... Pizza wheel. Ooh, that sounds way better than that thing Delvina said. Pizza wheel. Promenade. Pizza wheel promenade. That is official. Mark it in your journals. And I don't even, those faces, I can't even read those faces. I don't know what they are. Pizza Wheel Promenade. So, Pineapple Boulevard, Olive Way, or Olive Gardens, depending. Anchovy Avenue, and Pizza Wheel Promenade. Well, sometimes you have to go against society, like when you're banished. Titular scene. Okay, way too much. Y'all are letting me get away with murder here. Way too much firewood. Way too much firewood. Let's do something more useful. Alright, so let's see. Alright, we got the wood. Now we need stone. Alright, and I feel bad about doing this while they're like trying to survive, but I need to make this pretty. So I could actually put this labor back in the gather. We'll build up some food instead of... I mean, we got a ridiculous amount of firewood, so... Alright, we've just about got our trading post, at which point I could kind of go berserk and build whatever, because we'll never run out of non-renewables. Exactly. Caveman 011 or Caveman 3. I think there's actually a SNL skit about, if this is like from the 90s, about the titular scene in movies. And it's like in a video rental store or something. I really like how the different resources have, you know, vastly different rates at which they're used. Like the tools is slow, and the clothes maybe even is slower. It's glacial compared to the food. It chews through food. Yeah, well, I was going for binary, but I don't know what it actually is. Yeah, I kind of still agree with that, Rellington. I mean, it's almost like it gets audience members to go, oh, that's the movie, that's the title, and it just feels cheap to me. But you know, what do I know about movies? What do I know about Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen? Other than they would fit right in in Banished. Not gonna say any more than that. I'm not mocking anybody, but I did think that it was binary. I'm not mocking anyone other than your pizza cutter thing, in which I was mocking about that, but not about binary. Pizza Wheel Promenade. That's just... I mean... No, I'm not mocking you. I'm not sure why that's... Is that something that you like? I don't remember. I kind of want to grab the iron up here, just because it's all that's up here. Alright, here comes our 5th or 6th winter. 6th, it's gotta be 6th. 6th winter. But looks like we're doing better than any so far. We're doing much better on trees, on logs, but we need stone. I believe I queued some up over here, but I'm gonna grab like these and go ahead and bump those if they will listen. Gideon Drew is 4. So the years, this is also kind of strange, but their ages don't match the years that you go through. I mean, obviously, Eiley was born after the game started and she's 26, and we're only in the 6th year. Which is, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why not just change the numbers or something? I think there's mods that do it, but, you know. Alright, picking up stones. So close to this trading post. So close, I can taste it like a pizza. You get it? Now, once we have the trading post up, we actually have to have goods to trade. You can trade food and firewood. Medicine is pretty good. Yeah, I know. It's, you know, they can't all be gems. I think even though I was bad-mouthing building up firewood, I'm going to start stockpiling more firewood just so that we can trade it. So I'm going to bump one of the builders to woodsman. Fredericky. There we go. And if we're really lucky, boats will actually come up here. I think it's connected. Very nice. They'd have to turn around somewhere. I'm not really sure how that works. Or maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out. As obsessed with roads as they are, I mean, I guess that makes sense. They're not tearing this road down. Probably because they're thinking to themselves, no, I love roads. Why would I delete a road? But that's cool, because I didn't really want them to work on it immediately. I did the iron up here, so I'm not going to queue any more iron. Boy, I keep thinking we've got to get that tailor, but they're just not going through the clothes. I'm going to go ahead and place our first stone house, or at least plan it. Oh, come on, come here, come back. Gotta pin it, and then it'll stay up so that you can plan it. So like I could just place it here, and that way it'll be useful in the old, sort of the old part of town. Or maybe here. Like that way it'll be more useful to know, or over here. Something like Hmm. So I'm thinking I'm going to go here. Alright, that's a lot of stone though. But we've got plenty, and we've got our docks. Now let's see, how does this work? So it's kind of a shame you can't resize stockpiles. Like, it just builds another one. And you can't just delete stockpiles. They have to take them apart. But I really want to put a big stockpile next to this docks for when we buy stone and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the stockpile so that we can build a bigger one. That's probably going to take 3 years for them to do, because they really hate doing that. Alright, I'm going to get a little bit of tea, and I will be back momentarily, so hang on to your seats. Alright, I am back. Oh, I'm really glad you said something, because I've forgotten all about building wells. So if you want me to fail, you've just messed things up. So let's place a well. I always am paranoid when I come back to streaming that I've somehow messed something up, but I think it's going. Town services. Well, so nice and small. We definitely want one in this part of town. Okay, I'm glad, because Pizza Town matters. So I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to put one here. They're so expensive. Famous last words. And it's at the crossroads. What if I'll put it here. But it fits really nicely. I'll put it there. Alright, there's our well. But that's 40 stone! I want to build a house! Yeah, look at that. It's just about halfway. Doing good on food, doing good on firewood. Clothes hasn't changed in like a year. I'm starting to think they really are a nudist colony. Oh! Eiley just couldn't help herself. Boy, she's really growing up right quick. We need you to make more kids. Excuse me. So, I'm actually a little bit worried about how quickly they're aging. I'm gonna go ahead and unpause this house. It even makes me think I should build another wooden house just so we can get it up quicker. But yeah, that works for a while. But then what do you do when everybody's out mining rocks and not collecting food? Yeah, and I want to get rid of that road. Because what's this? That looks silly. We're just gonna have a couple of squares. That's just gonna be our base. I mean our town. So the question is, are they gonna switch over to the stone house? Like working on it? Alright, finish the docks, you rascals. Food's looking good. I always liked the old SimCity maps that were just completely flat, and you could just squash as much city as you possibly could. Yeah, I've tried to like do a max population in Banished, like see how high I could get the population before. And the game really slowed down, and I just kind of quit. I don't even know if I got that far, certainly into the hundreds, but I don't know how far. There's all this goofy stuff with farms too, where you can build them as big as 12 by 12 or 20 by 20 something. I think 12 by 12. But there's different sizes are actually more optimal because I don't know, the way they walk or the amount of time it takes to put all the vegetables on the fields, and then all the time it takes to what's it called when you collect a vegetable off of a field? What is that word for extracting a vegetable, a plant from a field? Harvesting. This is my specialty. It helps me think. Harvesting. The time it takes them to harvest all the vegetables, depending on how cold it is. Yeah, thank you, caveman. The crops will freeze before you harvest everything, so you have to be careful about that. Okay. Oops, keep doing that. Kind of running out of trees. I mean, I guess I could get these trees, but they're starting to walk really far to get to them. There's always so many things you want to build. Oh, we have a new child, thank goodness. But not in the old people's house. So we have a boy and a girl, so everything will be fine. But we might not start to really grow our population for a while, which is a shame. Because I really want to build a forester. So we have a docks. Now, you have to have somebody in the docks for the boats to come, which is kind of a shame. But let's start with like 200 firewood. So they'll move 200 firewood into the docks ready for trade. The question is, do we want to actually put a worker in there? We don't need food. What good is food? Now there's another trick to this game that is incredibly ridiculous and obscure, but the people who work at the trading posts, and I believe the markets as well, because of their job, the nature of their job, they shuffle around goods, and the designer gave them essentially wheelbarrows. I'm not sure if there's actually an image, but they can move more stuff, they can carry more stuff. And it turns out that they can carry more stuff even when they default to laborer, if they don't have anything to do. So let's say that this trader moved this firewood, and now he doesn't have anything to do, so he's going to idle. He's going to essentially be a laborer. But now he can move a bunch more stuff. So he can pick up like all your stone and move all your stone around. It's kind of a big deal. Instead of having idle laborers, you should almost always have idle dock workers or idle marketeers. Let's go with marketeers. Market workers. Let's go with market workers. But yeah, he actually has a wheelbarrow. All right. Yep. But it's not just a sprite. He can actually carry more stuff than normal people. So there he goes, pulling the firewood back to the dock. Yeah, that's my understanding. I mean, I could be spreading misinformation, but I believe that is the case. Now, what did I actually decide to do? The forester? So I think I said the forester so that we can make more firewood. Yeah, let's do it. Whatever. No, never mind. So I realized that we're really coming up against this limit about our people, our villagers. What good is having more jobs if we don't have people to work the jobs? So let's go for our people. It's like they say, our people are our #1 priority, or whatever. What even is Philadelphia pizza? I've never heard of Philadelphia pizza. I mean Philly cheesesteaks, but those are a thing. But Philadelphia pizza, does it have Cheese Whiz on it? All right, so our fuel surplus was just eaten into by the dock worker, and so I think now our fire worker, some call them woodcutter, is starting to go through logs. Alright, so we need stone. We've got enough iron. Actually, that sounds pretty good. I don't know if Fortrack Rat remembers this, but we used to make a lot of Philly cheesesteaks. But I don't think we ever used Cheese Whiz. We'd put like green bell pepper on them though, and like fried onion. Ooh, ooh, I love fried onion. But yeah, that would be great on a pizza. Oh man. I want to grab some tools pretty soon. I'm running out of trees again. I don't know if we actually have any that are left. So let's grab these, maybe these. Okay, now all of our stone is gone, which will be for a long time. And he's completely out of wood. Now, obviously I could chop all these down, but I don't know if this is even true, but I believe that the herbs and onions and blueberries need the trees. Now, I could be wrong. Could be totally wrong, but that's how I've always played. Kind of doesn't make sense when you think about it, so maybe it's not true. Like, you see these, I guess these are herbs here. So, you know, they seem fine. Oh, yeah, that sounds really good, Caveman. Luckily, we've managed not to get into any of these crazy situations where we like run out of wood at the same time we run out of firewood. You know, at the beginning of winter, and you're really struggling to stay ahead of the game. I think after that first year, we haven't even seen the cold icons. So let's check in with our trader. Let's see if my theory was right, or my claim. So he's got 200 firewood stored. So now he's he or she, Eiley. So Eiley's the worker. Now she doesn't actually have the wheelbarrow icon, But that doesn't mean anything. Okay, so I thought it was going to be easy to check. Wait, she's Huh, I didn't realize that laborers could destroy roads. I guess they just can't build them. So the only way to really test it would be to see how many logs and stuff people can pick up, and then how many logs the dock workers can pick up. Like you check their inventories. So you'd have to do it statistically. But we've done most of the stone. So we're going to have one nice endgame house. Maybe it was a bit of a mistake to... Because I mean, to build a wooden house, you're basically just sort of throwing those away for the long term. But you also save on the firewood by doing stone house, so it's that was a Snapple bottle. You can ignore that; everything is fine. So the Snapple whatever 1 liters or whatever they are. They redesigned their bottles recently, and I think they use less plastic, is my guess, because you know, to save on costs. And the bottle isn't strong enough to sustain the when it changes in temperature. So when it goes from the refrigerator to the outside of the refrigerator when it's empty, it warms up and expands, and the plastic gives and it pops. It doesn't explode, it just expands, and it pops up off the ground. It's kind of ridiculous. It's like those potato chip bags that are too loud, and it's like, this is, you know, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, so ran out of wood again, but I mean, totally fine on firewood. Excuse me. In fact, I'm going to switch just to get a couple rounds of tools in so I don't have to worry about it. We have tons of iron, so... You know, I'm thinking we'll try to keep our tools between like 5 and 10, 5 and 15 for a while. So what else might we want to trade? I mean, we're just not using herbs. So let's just grab like 40 of those. Maybe venison. Hopefully we'll actually get a boat. I mean, I think you get 1 boat a year per trading post. I don't remember exactly when this finished, but hopefully we will get a boat. Ah, they finished the deconstructing the stockpile. So now I can make a nice big stockpile. Like maybe that big, maybe that big. That big. Okay. When we buy iron and stone and whatnot, it'll have a place to go real quick. Well, we have 7 people, but Lenara and Marnie are actually kind of getting on up there. They've seen their heyday. I'm not sure they're going to be too long for this world. It's kind of funny. I mean, it's not funny, but then again, they're not really people. Sometimes they live to be like 80, 85, but sometimes they die off in their 50s of whatever natural causes. Oh yeah, so if you don't have a place to bury your dead, they do get pissed. But I also like not having a cemetery. I don't know. I mean, like, it just encourages backwards thinking, I think. How are we going to get them to eat their dead if they keep putting them in the ground? That I don't know. It takes a lot of stone, I believe, to make a cemetery. So I think we can wait a while. You also have to make a really big one for it to degrade. So basically, I mean, if the spots in the cemetery never degraded, then you'd eventually fill up your whole island with gravestones. So they degrade. I don't know how many years it takes, 5 or 10 years. So you need a big enough one that your population's death rate matches the degradation rate. Is that right? I've always wondered that about like birds that are sitting on the ground and stuff. Like you find a bird out in the world and it's like it's dead. And it's like something killed it. Maybe that means I shouldn't eat it. Because maybe what killed it would kill me. And maybe that's what makes me a predator as opposed to a scavenger. You know, like I'm not. You know, I'm a Wolverine as opposed to a vulture. Obviously, just if we're talking spirit animals. And anyway, I don't know how it all works. But we've got a little bit of wood finally. So what are we still missing? Stone. Did I not mark enough stone? Let's get that stone. Let's get that. Actually, there's a little bit marked. They're just lazy. I mean, I guess they're doing something else. Gideon Drew is an adult. They grow up so fast. I think we should put him back on food, or just on food, because we're kind of starting to hit that low scary point with 7 hungry mouths. 8, 6. Wait, what? Corlissa. I don't even remember Corlissa. Oops. Oh, I sort of do, yeah. Because it's a male and a female. It's a little graphic. It looks like it has little ribs. That's cute. A lot of game music gets old for me after, you hear it cycling over and over. For some reason this music doesn't. It's like, even though it's pretty repetitive, maybe it's minimalist enough that it... Yeah. It's just like everything else. I wish you could at least click on them. So we're almost out of firewood. Did I take somebody off of firewood? I think I did. Alright, oh, I think I put them on tools, so, because they ran out of wood, I remember now. So I don't need any more tools for now. I can't find it, but I know where he is, so he goes away, goes to tools. Okay. We're almost definitely fine. 70 firewood in that house. 50 firewood, everything's great. Cool. I'm a little bit worried that we haven't, because we haven't gotten a boat, but maybe we'll get it next spring. Ooh, they're chopping down a lot of trees. Yeah, we gotta be close to this. It's the same thing, come on. Yeah, you're kind of right. I never thought about that. It is somewhat similar style. I wonder what makes that style that style. Maybe like, yeah, I don't know. Is there anything we have in excess? Not really. We have a builder. I guess they're just focusing on trees, so... get that fella. Yeah. Did I not mark that? Okay, didn't mark that. There is this one little audio thing that drives me crazy about this game, and it's kind of quiet, especially since I have the sound turned down. But when you've got a kid, there's this sound that plays so frequently, and it sounds like Daddy. And it just played. And it drives me crazy. Sometimes I think it's random, and sometimes it'll just go over and over and over and over. Boy, we're getting food so fast. We've almost got enough people to, like, leave everybody in a job instead of juggling them around jobs. I don't know. It's, to me, it sounds like they're saying daddy because, like, I don't, they're kids and I like their protector. I don't know, but I'm like, oh my god, where are you? Are you lost in the woods? Oh yeah, you're just a video game. It drives me crazy. I always assumed it was kids. Maybe, I don't know. Well, depending on how quick Corlissa grows up, we might find out, because... Yeah, it does kind of sound like Hi Daddy, or... It's some noise with Daddy. Or like Hot Toddy, or, you know, something like that. I don't know why they'd say Hot Toddy. Yeah, I mean, Delvina, don't feel bad. It's no fun. When I hear a baby crying, like on a plane, I just start to lactate. It's such a pain. Hey, this is judgment-free zone, okay. So we've got to be close to this. Yes, thank God. That's probably a mistake. That was my first and only mistake of this game. Is building that stone house instead of a wooden house. Let's go ahead and kind of stockpile the stone up, though. Is that the last stone? Yes! Who's going to be the lucky family is the question. Is it going to be Gideon Drew and his sister Corlissa? Or is it going to be probably Selenor and Gideon? But sometimes they'll do really stupid stuff and it just drives you crazy. Like Lenaro and Marnice will split up and you'll be like, no. Stay together for the children. I don't know if there's rules. I mean, I think they I don't even know. I would like to hope that it tries to make breeding couples. But I also know that I've been in situations before, and what I do is I hit upgrade to stone house, which evicts them, and then they sort of move, so they'll move in with another family, and then I cancel it. I'll cancel the upgrade, and that'll turn it back into an empty house, and then the rules apply again, and you get different results. Sometimes you have to do that. That didn't answer your question, but I don't know the answer. Hi, Angel Decoded. It's a shame that I'm the only one that you could hear sing. I'm sure all of you would do a much better job singing Blink 182. Alright, we've just about built up our wood stockpile. I mean, our firewood stockpile. We've got a lot of food. We've got a lot of basic resources. Got a lot of tools. This is fantastic. So, we're going to get this third family. Probably Selena is going to move out, and we're going to have our first geriatric home. This house over here is crowded. A new child was born, Cecilian, who I will call Cecilia. Another woman, which is good. So, we still haven't had that boat, which is really starting to worry me. Is it possible that the boat can't make it? I could have sort of thought that boats could go up almost tiny little canals, even smaller than this. If we make it to winter and we haven't seen a boat, well, that's going to suck. I'll probably have to build it in this lake. Yeah, I mean, I hear ya. I don't know. I think this is another thing that people have made up all sorts of stuff about like main waterways and stuff. Like this waterway here snakes around all the way over here, all the way here. It goes all the way. So it touches like two edges. It's got to be a place boats come from. The question is, can they go up this creek? And maybe not. Maybe Mozzarella Cheese Creek. I mean, maybe they can't, but God, that's gonna kill me. Because then we're gonna have to build another. Yeah, I could build it here, but I think I'd rather build it on this on the lake. I'm pretty sure they can come to lakes. Let's plan it as if the worst has happened, because we might as well. What is it? This, no. This, no. This one. Okay, so we have room. We could put it like here, and it's not even too far where it used to be. But oh, that's so sad, and all that is wasted. I don't know if you get back like half of it when you take something down, or do you get anything? I don't even know. I feel bad about calling it until winter. Because maybe he'll just come late in the year. I don't know. Let's leave that alone. But we have our house, and Gideon and Selena are a thing. This town is all about young males. So that's actually pretty good. They're going to start pumping out children. And then pretty soon, these two are going to kick the bucket. We have two more women. It's a shame that we don't have a guy. But maybe these will have a guy. Still don't really need to worry about clothes. We can focus on resources so that we can build this second trade post, I guess. I was going to say we could go ahead and start the market, but we probably want to move these houses first. We also need that well, which is... Let's do it. Someone has to... No. I actually just hit the X button to close this window. I don't know if there is a key. Oh, it's right click. If I've been doing it, I did it completely on autopilot. Yeah, it looks like right click closes. um, ugh. Alright, so if we built it on the river, what does that look like? Just a lot of hills. We could do it there. That's not bad. We could have a bridge. And that's river's definitely a river. That's actually not that bad. But it looks like that's the only place. Oh dear. So I think I'm going to go for here for now. But eventually we'll want more than one trade post, so it's not even like... It's good that we can build it in multiple places. Hmm. Man, what a waste of resources. So if we bulldoze this, it looks like it's... The land doesn't really stick out far enough to extend the strait. But it's nice that we have this main thoroughfare going straight to the dock. That's kind of cool. Kind of makes sense. And they ran out of trees again. So... How's the well? So the well has all its resources. So I'm going to unpause the lodge. Let's start to get some trees coming in at a regular pace. Everything looks good. Got a nice food stockpile going. And this family has their first child, Cole. What does the wiki say, Caveman? I sort of thought it was like clockwork, like you get a guaranteed visit every year for every trade post. I mean, the problem is if they can't get to it. I mean, I don't know. Keep wondering why we run out of wood, and then I realize we've got 200 firewood. And actually, I want to keep bumping this up, so like, let's change it to at least 250. Oh, but we don't even know if it works. Whatever. Yep, little baby coal. I was hoping to trade for coal, but I guess this works too. I'm sorry. I think we're good enough on food. I'm gonna drop this guy back down to a laborer. We need. Hey, you like my jokes? Trust me. We need the wood. I wanted to start building this market, but it's early autumn. Let's place a bridge. Let's see how the bridge looks. Can we do that kind of... Oh, yeah. That'll extend Pizza Wheel Promenade. Looks pretty good to me. Oh, we don't even need a bridge. Never mind. I didn't realize it was connected here. I mean, I have a feeling that would be not very entertaining to watch. They can walk over here, so don't really need a bridge for now, but probably, I mean, if I pause it, eventually I'll put a bridge. Come on, boats! Are you a boat? No, you're a deer. Come on, boats! It's like when you want to call a pig, you know, you say sui, sui, sui. With boats, it seems like there'd be a way, you know, you'd say buoy, buoy, maybe? Something like that? I don't know. Does that go on the real Delavina? I hope not. Alright, we have a well. Now we're completely protected against fire. Not really, but... I'm banned from stand-up comedy because I'm not saying anything, like, racist. Apparently that's a requirement. Assuming that you're talking about that game, if you're just talking about stand-up comedy, then what I just said didn't make any sense. But there's a multiplayer video game where people stand up and do stand-up comedy. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna close my mouth. But you can go watch people play it, and it's pretty horrible. It's horrible. The moderation is not sufficient. I don't know. I kind of want to say it's on the Nintendo, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's PC. I feel like I watched Game Grumps play it, but that can't be because it's too much racism and too many curse words. Yeah, I guess the lactating nipples thing, that was a little bit risque, and not true. So it's late autumn. We didn't get a boat in a year, so I'm gonna call it. Yeah, it's not. It's not. I think it's PC, so it might be VR. I don't know if it's VR. And I definitely saw somebody. That's it. Comedy nights. Yeah. I saw. So Rock Paper Shotgun did an article where they actually got a professional stand-up comedian to go on there and play it with the guy. And he started doing his act or started telling jokes, and like was immediately banned because he was taking it too seriously or something. I don't know. It's such a neat idea, but you'd have to have a way of like actually letting the audience have controls somehow. I think how it works now is that there's whoever starts a channel is the moderator and has full ban kick priority. Yeah, it's such a neat idea. The implementation's horrible. At any rate, don't worry. I won't go do it. So we need to build another dock, and we can build one here or there. I'll place that one, see what that looks like too. Where were you? Here? Come on, Mr. Doc. Come on, Doc. There we go. I mean, that one's not bad either. Ah, that would have been nice. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to play it. I mean, honestly, the idea, I knew, I went on a couple of dates with a girl who, in her spare time, was a stand-up comedian. Like, it was something she did for kicks. I know. I agree. Mozzarella Crick deserves votes. And I remember thinking about like trying it, you know, and you've gotta know what you're gonna say beforehand, and that's like too much. That's just too much work. I'm not good at the kind. I mean, I'm not good at jokes, but I'm certainly not good at the kind of jokes that you tell. That's like a whole thing. I'm gonna do this one first. We'll have both of these eventually, because we'll want just more stuff. but I'm gonna do both of these. And this road is gonna come straight down. It's definitely different. I mean, I feel like writing a comedy routine, you might as well be writing a play or something. Like, you're giving a monologue. I don't. That's ugh ugh. All right. Are you all watching all this stuff? What are we missing anything? Kind of starting to run a little ragged on clothes. All right, we got a Firster's Lodge building. So let's go ahead and unpause the tailor. And we'll pause that for now. And I mean, I guess we'll I guess I'll move all that out for now. And I'll empty it out and just leave it paused. I mean, yeah, you know, leave it idle. All right, beautiful. So if we put a person here, they'll cut and plant. In fact, we're just going to do it. It's nice about these. One of the nice things that I really like about Forester Lodges is that, in some sense, they'll go ahead and mine all these rocks and stuff out, because they'll do it in order to plant trees, so that you'll have as many trees as possible. It's just a small little bonus. And just like we've been doing with the tools, basically we'll use the tailor to like get us back up to say 20 and then pause it for a while. Oops. Just like before, I'm trying to build them in open spaces so they don't have to build them before they get to use them. So let's play around with our tools. So let's see. We definitely didn't build these super close to where they live. That's you know, that's just a thing that's kind of a shame. I probably could have done it a few ticks closer. Alright, so we moved out all the firewood. Okay, all the herbs, so we're just left with venison. Looks like they did it all in one trip. So much stone. Alright, you done here? Come on. There we go. So once Eiley drops off all that deer, venison, she will be fired. I didn't even see where she went. Where'd she go? Let's just assume it's done. All right. And I guess oh no! We had our first death. Poor Marnie was the first to go. Marnie, we knew you well. That's really all I have to say. You'll notice that Marnie was immediately replaced because we had a spare laborer. Usually doesn't really matter, but it matters a great deal for the teacher. Once we get a teacher up, at that point we will always have 1 or 2 laborers just in case the teacher dies. Well, oof. So we could dismantle this just to get back some stone. Oof. Because we really need some stone, and we're going to need more to build the next docks. Does anyone know how many resources you get back when you demolish a building? If it's 0, then I'll probably just leave this here. I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, we waited a whole year. It's a lost cause. Yeah, half sounds right. So then at least we get 40 stone. That's decent. I built this extra road here to make it slightly easier to get some of the stone. Just to travel on. And of course, you know, it'll be the southern edge of our town. In fact, maybe we want to complete this. Like that. So, looking a little bit low on the food. But Corlissa has grown up to serve as Marnie's protege. And so I think I'm trying to decide if I want to put Corlissa as a gatherer to just get straight up food, or as a hunter to get food and leather, which I think I'm gonna do. Since we're about to build this, we'll just take all the leather that we have at that point and turn it into clothes. And maybe we can trade some of them. I think clothes are worth 15 or something. He's probably will just keep them. But if there's something that really catches my eye, like a shiny stone, we'll have extra money to purchase it. So how's this guy doing on? Yeah, that's just sad. Come on. 8 logs, like he's not even trying. Who is this? See, he's the problem with people who you can't pronounce their names. Selena. So we're waiting on stone. Man, see, I built that well and the stone house thinking we were going to start getting shipments in of stone, and that has really thrown a wrench in the works. I don't think it's going to kill us or anything. There's still plenty of stone on the map. It's just that it's less reachable. Forester, woodcutter. So, I mean, this woodcutter's not actually cutting wood, it's just acting as a laborer. I'm gonna switch him to gatherer for now, to build food up. So I think I've marked most of this stone, and I'm just gonna leave it. It'd be nice to have an overlay that would show you what you've marked. I think it's kind of hard to see these yellow things, especially underneath the big boulders. The boulder itself is bigger than the mark. So I guess our builder's focusing over here. 18 more stone. They're doing their square to 2 stuff here. It's a shame that... I mean, I guess it would be too much, but if the roads gave more of a bonus in speed, it would still be efficient to take the roads. But it would have to be greater than this distance gain. The, 1-1 square to 2 thing. And so I guess he thought like 40% speed was too much. But... it's just a difference between maybe looking satisfying. Like, I built these roads, so please take them. Versus like making sense, like maybe 40% is just too much. Did you learn many things about deer and waterways and stone? Delvina. Okay. I guess the wiki is just really isn't well organized. Can go through and start making these, maybe make a little bit more sense, putting them next to the roads. Now that they're empty. We have a new child. Cameraldine. Ooh. Wow, Frederiki and Eiley have been quite productive, so to speak. They've had tons of children. I guess they got a young start. Lenaro and Marnie were in their early 20s. So we're just waiting on this last little bit of stone. It's all marked. I kind of want to track one of these laborers to figure out exactly what they're doing. Getting something to eat. Well, that is not useful. Can you not follow? Oh, yeah. It's a button follow. Huh. This is like thrilling, I'm sure. What is Eiley going to do? I know maybe earlier games had this, but SimCity 4 had this mode where you could look on, you could do street view and look at individual people. It's pretty nice. See what's jamming up traffic and stuff. It's almost like she's trying to get away from us. A tree. So I think we set a lot of roads to be constructed, and they're obsessed with roads. So that's what they're doing. And the roads are quite far away from where they live, so it takes them a long time. But once they finish the roads, they'll be slightly more productive. Oh, did they actually just destroy that? Yeah, they must destroy it. These are either herbs or like, you know, spinach or whatever. What is it, roots and stuff? Maybe roots. So you'd think they'd actually get that, but she just destroyed it. She's a little clumsy. Alright, we got... Okay, so we have enough stone to complete it, so now it's just a matter of bringing it to the building. And... still not a whole lot of wood. Food's at a level where I'm thinking about switching it back to being a laborer, but considering how many people are being born, maybe that's a bad idea. So once Lenaro dies, if Lenaro dies, people will go into his house, so like Corlissa, maybe Cole, and start having their own babies. Or Lenaro lives into the ripe old age of like 108 and just keeps that house useless. Wow, Eileen's 40. Our first child is already 40. But she should be building. Why? I wonder if the rain helps put out fires. Ooh. We got 4 clothing. She's going to take 1. So, kind of need to get this building built. So, come on. Okay, kicking the gather out, switching to building. Alright, so let's see. What do we have? We have pineapple, whey? No, olive whey. What was it? Pineapple what? I've already forgotten. This one's pizza wheel, promenade, anchovy avenue. Pineapple place. Pineapple place. I think. I mean, that's what it is. It's pineapple place. So we should probably name this big old fella, which I think is Broadway. Actually, it's too straight to be Broadway. But it does go north-south. Oh, they've almost demolished this. I see. I guess they were working on that. Oh, so I looked for mods to actually place signs down, and I couldn't find any. So if anyone knows of mods that allows me to name roads, even with little place markers, I would appreciate it. I don't think we've made firewood for like a year. I said if anyone knows of a mod that lets me name roads or put down place markers, let me know. Huh, it says Eileen's working and she's going up the mountain. What are you doing? This does not look like you're working. Oh, she's a hunter. Oh, she must have switched jobs, I guess. Alright, so let's get some clothes. Boop. Boop. And, yeah, these warm cloaks are better, but we don't have any way of making wool, so. I'm gonna let them make clothes until essentially we're all out of leather. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna do the same for tools for a little while. Let them make some tools. So we'll stockpile all that stuff up. Won't have to worry about it for a few years. And then we can focus on dealing with this dock situation. I wonder what all is in a like, why is a tailor so big? Like, it's bigger than the blacksmith building. Like, there's just lines of tables with different kind of thimbles or something. I have no idea. I guess this outside part is for, like, it's just like a clothesline. It'd be neat to see a tannery or something like that. Like, there's a really popular mod that's called Colonial Charters for this game that tries to deal with the fact that the resource chain is very shallow in this game. I mean, so your hunting cabin gives you leather, you turn leather into coats, done. That's like the whole chain. Another chain is you get iron, you turn iron into tools with logs, done. It's incredibly shallow chains. Instead, you know, games since the early 90s have had chains where you've got to get wheat and you turn wheat into flour and you turn flour into dough and you turn dough into pizza. And having these long chains make for more, interesting, I think. It's harder. You have to figure out, how am I going to get this from one building to another when there's all this stuff to do. In my mind, the quintessential classic game is Settlers, the Blue Byte German game. This game, Banished, is kind of like Settlers, but made more casual. Refreshing? How is it refreshing? In what way? What do you mean by refreshing? Like in Settlers, you have to make food, let's say all that wheat to pizza kind of stuff, so that you can mine stuff, because the miners take food, and to recruit soldiers you have to make gold, and you have to smelt it, and then smith it, and oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, about that I agree. I mean, Banished is its own thing, absolutely, and I love it. It's its own little beautiful gem. But I can never stop thinking, how would I like to change Banished? Or anything, really. And I've played through Colonial Charters. Ooh! I'm glad we got stuff back. I've played through Colonial Charters, and it's decent. It's pretty good. Especially for a mod. I mean, I'm impressed. There's a lot going on. I think, if anything, the only thing that gets complicated is the UI. This Professions box is like 5 times as big. And so you know, if you were actually designing the game from scratch, you'd want to rethink the UI. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of stuff that in this game maybe sort of seems half-baked. Like, there's 15 different kinds of fruits, but it doesn't really matter. You know, why not just have two fruits or whatever? Wouldn't it be cool if the fruits did different things? Yeah, it's simple and peaceful, and that's what I like about it. But I also can't help but trying to make it more. Alright, so we're going to start working on this trading post. And we've probably got just the right amount of stone. Maybe we'll need a little bit more. I'm going to take somebody off of something to focus on food. I think for now I'm going to take them off hunting. I mean, because they make more food as a gatherer. But that seems a little silly. Take them off of forester. The trees grow up, and when they get to a certain age, I guess they just fall down. And I always think that somebody's chopping them down. I was going to say it'd be neat if they dropped their tree, if they dropped like a log or their, you know, trunk. And then I realized that in a forest, they'd keep growing up and dropping their trunks, and they would just keep piling up. And then I started thinking about and I don't know the name for it, but before fungus evolved, I don't know what it's called, but there was a time, you know, before fungus had evolved, but they were trees. And the trees would grow up and create this cellulose, this tough material that's hard to break down. And they'd die, and the trees would just lay there, and they wouldn't be broken down. And all that carbon and yeah, I guess carbon would be locked into the tree, into the cellulose, and nothing could break down. And it actually affected the climate. It's kind of wild, but luckily something evolved that could break down the trees and turn it back into, you know, dirt, whatever. Unlock the carbon. I don't know if it was oxygen that it was pulling out as well, but it's certainly carbon. And so when you see, you know, mushrooms hanging out on dead trees, think them that they're not destroying the earth like they used to. Stupid trees. Alright, so we've used up all of our leather. I'm not sure why this isn't paused. But, gonna kill the tailor. And we put him back as forest, because it looks like we don't have enough lumber. Although there is some here hanging out in the ground. So we're back to 21 clothes, which I think is more than we started with. So that's exciting. Our tools, on the other hand, hasn't quite gone up as much as I wanted. We don't have a whole lot of iron. I'm gonna grab a little bit. I think when it hits summer, I'm going to call it a night. We've gotten quite a bit accomplished today. We've branched into our New York style pizza island, aka Manhattan. And we did in fact build a dock, which did not work. But we did build it, and that's worth something. And we've also got many families surviving, laughing, having fun. enjoying their separation from society, as I'm sure, you know, many deviants would. They're finally with people who understand them. And that's, I don't know if that's what matters in life, but it's pretty cool. We got another laborer. We have to start thinking about a school soon. It's just about time. Because we're definitely keeping our head above water. Probably gonna wait until we get a functional dock before actually going through with that, but let's see, 17 tools, so I'm going to let the blacksmith become a builder. And we don't have to worry about tools and clothes for a while. Boy, it's so much further to get to this new location. They're just spending so much time walking. So I'll build a town hall for the Grafs, but I never take immigrants because immigrants are always uneducated, and I that's not a political judgment call. It's just once I get an educated society, once I get an educated society, I don't want random uneducated people jamming up the works. Like, what if they become the blacksmith? What if they become the blacksmith? You know, then all of a sudden we can't make enough tools to keep up with demand. So I never take immigrants in unless it's like an emergency. Sounds, yeah, let's not take that out of context. But I do like the graphs. I like to look at it, make sure my food's staying level and things like that. It takes so many resources to build. I wouldn't even think of building one until I had like too much stone in store. I mean, I'm happy with any immigrant who wants to join our colony who has an advanced degree in blacksmithing. Or, you know, like at least they're GED in hunting. Something like that. Like, but there's nothing worse than getting like firewood cutter who's uneducated when it means that you have to build a second woodcutter. Like, yeah. All right. I've had enough of your nonsense. I'm gonna call it quits for the night. But thanks everybody for tuning in, and I hope you I hope you have a pleasant evening. Good night.